This is DBN newspaper review. My name is Emmanuel.
And my name is Simi Nixon.
And today on our newspaper review, we are going to start with Daily Nation. On our front page on Daily Nation is talking about state of the nation. How Uhuru stated yesterday on the
government. Head of state defends his legacy as he lists his achievements. Have seen our future. It shall be well, likely himself to the biblical Moses who saw the promised land. So my question to you, Simiu, when you look 10 years back and you look now, do you see any change in our government or what?
The changes that have been seen in the government, this one now are coming about the BBI. But also the president himself has tried all the best and has tried to empower young people through initiatives that are helping them to maybe to partake some of the jobs outside there, job opportunities, economic activities. Instantly, we can find out that because of COVID-19, this has been a measure, this has been the problem that has brought the government to maybe to shut down some of the business, to shut down some of the economic, and to shut down some of the corporations. And you'll find that also the investors have not arrived in large number as they always did in those previous years. But now we can compare the government, we can now start from the government beginning when President Uhuru began his mission with the DP Ruto. It was Uhuruto. When they began, the first thing it was to provide for laptops for the school kids. Every kid was supposed to have a laptop. The second thing, they are going to build roads 10,000 kilometers, I think, from the plan that they had in the beginning. They were to cater for a lot of the things that now when you find out that those laptops, I think you cannot find out them in the schools. Maybe some of the schools, few schools have received those laptops. Though also, it has been a challenge because this one, it was something that it was to take many years. But now the term is collapsing. Now we are remaining with 1 year. So when I find out that in this government, there might have been so many things that have led the slow and the government was stayed in development. And when you find out that in the best thing that the government has done recently is about the unifying handshake. I think that one can be in the history, because handshake, it was just as you in those previous years you find out that Luos and the Kikuyus and other tribes were not mixing up because they find out that every one of themselves, every one of the communities thought about their loved ones. The community thought about the tribalism. But now when the president comes in and finds that there must be a handshake, that handshake has brought a lot to the common mwananchi and also to the government development. Because now through handshake, now they come up with the BPI, which is going to build the bridges from the society in our daily lives, and which is going to bring national integration in our country, of which ethnic groups are coming now to form up one nation. So now we will have stop the blood ties of our country, bloodshed ties of always that every 5 years we must have a bloodshed. So now I can say that if we find out that if we follow up very well the president, yes. Also, I can say that Emma, as Simiyu, that when a player is playing the football in a field, most of the time the fans, the spectators, do not always see how many goals, how many shots the goalkeeper has defended. But they always see only that goal that enters in. That only one goal can make the fans to say that the government has done nothing to them. Because now you can also find out that he has launched the SGR Standard Gauge Railway. This one, Standard Gauge Railway, that is traveling from Nairobi up to Mombasa. That is very affordable and cheap, and it's 700, and everyone can afford. I find people flocking from Mombasa to Nairobi through SGR. So developments that when you look in the government, even though some of them, some of the people will say that they have not seen any change in the government, but now I can say that we have a lot of things that we can say the government has done. But it's not easy, Emma, to be on that position and to do something that will please all the people. And also, I urge the president, together with the prime minister, that this is the bullet that they have, the last bullet to shut down all the violences, the crimes that have been always expected in our country, that every 5 years there's crime.
Another thing is about hope. He stated building of new railways easing the cost of starting business and issues of title deeds of land owners, major success of the Jubilee administration. Our future is bright, Uhuru tells country in nation address. Do you think our future is bright according to what is stated in the national address yesterday?
The task force that the president that is giving us the direction that our future is bright. Yes, I can say indeed our future it can be bright, but not so much and not so extremely, because it is likely to have that country that have accepted a lot of corruptions and a lot of things that are making us not to maybe to prosper and even to develop, to have a good development in our economy. So I can say that the president giving direction that our future is bright, and being focused on our future is bright. Yes, it will be okay if our future is bright, if he's going to launch some of the things that are going to help common mwananchi. If he's going to launch some of the things that like Kazim Tahani, like and many other, like improving the standard railway gauge, that one will help the people. And even as I told you, that let this standard gauge railway move to other cities in our country. If it will do that, it will be easy for our country to develop. It will be easy for us to know where we are going and where we're coming from. And we will have that figure, and we will have that assuredness that our future is bright. But now we're saying that our future is bright. Maybe concerning is looking into BBI and the handshake. But that one will not bring us to have our future which is bright, because now the president has to launch some of the things. Now the president, now is the time that his bulletin, that is the last bullet that he has, let him shoot and think of young people outside there who are jobless. You find them in the streets there. We have a lot of young people who are jobless, who are working in the streets, who are selling skumas, who are riding borders. They have qualifications, but there's no jobs outside there. So I can say that if he's saying our future is bright, if he's going to put some of these measures, if he's going to put down some of the things that are going to help the common mwananchi. We have things like the Linda Mama. We have things like Inua Vijana. We have things, a lot of things even in the up countries there, that in rural areas, let him facilitate some of the things that are going to help mwananchi. And also minimize the process of corruption, minimize have the authority that in our country we are not going to accept corruption. That one, I think, if we will cover up with all of them, I think that one will bring our future to be bright.
Continuing on that, President urges MPs to prioritize BBI bills. Report was launched at Bomas of Kenya in Nairobi last week. What can you say about that BBI?
BBI to be accepted. The president is also giving people hopes that let them accept, let them go through the BBI, read it and understand it. When they understand it, let them vote for it. Now this BBI is coming to swallow the constitution. Now, as it is giving the direction, we will find out that in BBI we have talked about it has talked about a lot of things. That these things are going to help people. But now the president giving people, giving the MPs and governors a space, maybe to give it to vote for it. It is because there is something inside that is going to help human being, that is going to help the citizen of our country, that is going to help everyone of our country through trade, through economic, through sports and everything. But now what he's focusing on each for the BBI to get to the table or the BBI to be voted in, it is because he's talking about stopping of bloodshed ties that have been in our country that is regularly. Now, to stop that and come to, we have to come to a government that is now having a national integration whereby we will be gathering all of the groups, all of the communities, all of the people of our country, the citizen of Kenya will have a voice to speak, will have a voice to tell anybody outside there. They will have freedom to move, they will have freedom to own properties, they will have freedom to go anywhere. I remember in the Constitution that it's talking about the Bill of Rights, chapter 4. There's it's giving the people the direction. There is freedom of movement, freedom of expression. You find out that sometimes in our regions, you find out that nobody can enter. In those days, I think, Emma, you can remember, yes, whereby it was that when Ruto goes to Mount Kenya, he could not have that meeting. He was to be stormed. He was to be maybe by the police, chaos strikes. Why? Because he has gone to the different territory. Now you find out that Raila could not even go to Mombasa or go to anywhere else because the problem was as he moves from Nairobi, he goes to where? To Nyanza. When President Uhuru last week arrived in Kisumu, everyone was shouting, everyone was on top. Even as he asked that he would have liked if we could have gotten a hair there in Kisumu, a hair who was going to take care of his properties. I think that one is bringing now the Kenya we want. That one is bringing now the government we want. A person who will take stones and start fighting others, let him fight himself. Because now I am accepting that the government is moving now to the last bulletin that the president has carried for the Kenyans is now the unity. As he's going to give it to Mheshimiwa that is coming to the throne, I think that now he has prepared something good for the Kenyans. Let nobody fight. If somebody is going to bring crimes, he's going to bring for his family, he's going to fight himself, because now the government is now united.
Let's go to education right now. President say ministry, county government and CDF will build additional classroom. So he ordered Magoa to release 2021 school calendar in 2 weeks. CIS expected to call a stakeholders meeting next week. So my question is, for now you can see COVID-19 is rising up. We don't know when COVID-19 is going to end. And here, President ordered Magoa to release 2021 school calendar. So, is it possible that 2021 coronavirus will not be there anymore or what?
But what the president is talking about is taking the developments in the schools, the infrastructure in the school. And through this COVID-19 pandemic, we have been facing more challenges. But I am now coming to my senses that yesterday the Cambry and other Cambry ordered the low cost masks, PPEs. They have ordered low cost for the poor. I don't know if they are taking action which is very serious, or they are taking some of the measures that they never told people. Because now if they are ordering some masks that of low cost and all the PPEs, personal protective electronics equipment, now many questions are running in our minds that why have they decided that now the mask that was being sold 700 shillings is 5 bob? You find out that there is some of the things that they are coming in our minds. So now the government is ordering for the infrastructure in the schools. Now we are coming up to understand the shortness and an understanding where between the KEMSA and also the government. Because now if the KEMSA is ordering low-cost gadgets, and now also the government is ordering a calendar for 2021 school, for students to go back to school. And also it is bringing many questions in our minds that those people who made the investors who gave those masks, they were giving it for 700 shillings. You find out that this money is drying up. 6 billion is drying up in a way that you cannot understand. Because the mask was supposed to be sold 6 billion, but when they are selling you 5, you can find out that it will be a very low cost and it will not develop anything else. So now they are coming up to order for the low cost PPEs. The government is asking about the common people are asking, what are they giving us direction? What is that direction about that? Now the president is ordering. Now the CS Macron has gotten the space to give the direction that the schools must be open 2021. It brings a lot of questions in our mind. What are they sure? How are they sure that the disease is going to be maybe at the end of this year? Is it an annual disease? Or what are they playing around with our mind? Let us first, as the government, deal with the COVID-19 first. Let us now deal with the COVID-19 first. As I've told you that in the previous 2 weeks past time, they ordered students to go back to school. Grade 4, grade 8, and also Form 4. So now they find out that when the students arrived in the school, they started also maybe getting the disease. Like in Tononka and Mombasa, more than 100 and other students were found to have the COVID-19. So now the process is between our minds is between the government, the school, and also COVID-19. Our minds are flown inside there. So now the things that I'm giving up by saying that let us the government start by completing the measures of COVID-19. Now there is restriction. No one is following those restrictions. Now you must wear a mask. Lockdowns are there. Nobody's following about lockdowns. Now they are there ordering for the reconstruction in the schools.
Two other stories about pandemic. Free mask will help curb spread, especially in rural areas. MP says KEMSA to restart processing to buy free mask for the poor. My question is, for what we have heard about KEMSA, do you think they can handle this free mask to the rural areas?
Free mask, now the time has come, because I told you that they are now producing the lowest mask. And now this one is what they are going to do. They are going to give it for free. Now the way they are going, the last direction, they are going to give it for free. Why? Because now there is more, that the disease is coming up on our table. We have a lot of cases that have been reported during this year of October, this month of October. Now we are looking forward in this month of November. But now the problem is that the money, the investors who have given them their money to facilitate for those masks, the investors who have given their material to facilitate those masks, and also the KEMSA, that the money of the 400 billion, the 4 billions and other money that have been forced to lost in the jungle through PPEs. These are the things that now they are trying to give it for free. Now let them give for free. I think that one will be the best. If they are going to give the mask for free for the poor people, I think that one will help the government to come up with a good idea of solving the issue of coronavirus.
To get more about clergy opposed BBI proposal call for changes, have seen our future school's calendar to be out in 2 weeks. You can get your standard newspaper and you'll get more story about that. Let's go to the standard newspaper. On our front page of the standard newspapers talks about Uhuru pushes for consensus. Keeping the peace. President tones down political with major achievements of his government. Dishes out more goodies to new business and rallies leader to put public interest first. So Simiyu, Uhuru pushes for consensus. What can you say about that?
Okay, putting the consensus before us and how we are going to get to the building bridges and other things that the president wants us to do. Now he's trying to give us a good future, and as you have seen, he has said that I have seen our future. I have seen a great future for the nation of Kenya, and also I know that he has the last minute now. The president has is the last bullet. That one I will not forget. He has the last bullet, but this bullet he's shooting. He's trying to shoot this bullet between putting the interest of the economic, putting the interest of business, putting the interest of the lives that are outside there on our table, so that we are going to have the common people receiving their service at the right time, and we find out that we are going to be those people who are going to harvest a lot in this year, in this government of President Uhuru. This last bullet, as he's trying to capture on our mind, he's trying to give us direction that let us start with the interests of our country first. Let us start with the interests that are going to help other people. Let us not go to those things that are going to bring us down. Let us not go to those crimes. Let us not go to those violence. But let us sit down and start building something that will help us. I've seen young people using their talents outside there, writing about COVID-19 measures on the walls, and the president supporting them. The musicians using their talents. Those are how the things that the president wants us to emulate first. He wants us to start with those important issues that are affecting us. So we found out that in other regions we have a lot of properties that are wasted. So now he's coming up with, let us begin where we are. Let us start with important things. Now we will go to other things like BBI and the things like the handshake and all of those things that are ahead of us. Election. Let us not talk about 2022. Let us think about what is lying now in our hands.
President urges Kenyans to seize the constitution moment presented by BBI for the sake of prosperity of the nation. We will only lay foundation for big four agendas. Uhuru legacy projects were pegged out on food security, manufacture, universal health care, and affordable housing. So Uhuru Kenyatta urges Kenyans to seize the constitution. Here he's talking about the BBI. My question to you, BBI and constitution, are they related in any way or what?
In relation of the BBI with the constitution, BBI is like the constitution. When you BBI has the chapters, the constitution has the chapters, and BBI also it has the first front page, which is talking about the relationship and between the people and also the government. The constitution is talking about the first chapter is talking about sovereignty of the people and the supremacy in the constitution.
BBI.
So now this one is the constitution. So it is related. So now the BBI is the same as the constitution, but now they want to review. They want to change the constitution of 2010. 2010, coming up with with other ideas, coming up with other things that are going to help us, coming with those things that are coming to help the BBI to be supported and be taken as the constitution of Kenya. That's the thing that is in relation. So now the president is trying to give some of the direction from the BBI that let us do this, let us have the big four agendas. The big four agendas. Those are the things that are going to help our nation. But my fear is, Emma, about the corruption. The BBI itself has talked about corruption. Yes, chapter 8 is talking about corruption. It's talking about the government being involved more in the corruption. Corruption that is trending on our table. Corruption that is taking every face of the people. When you look at the person's face, you see corruption. When you look at any leader, as I've seen most of the leaders outside there coming up like those who are very poor, those who didn't even have shoes, coming up and convincing Wananchi that I will not do this, I'm going to help you, I'm going to be Joshua, like the president has said, that we have some of who will be Moses, but they will not reach the promised land. So now, the problem here is coming to be on DP Ruto. He's comparing the Moses and Joshua, who will be Moses and who will be Joshua. So he's talking about the DP. When you open your mind inside, you find out that Moses in the Bible also was given the Ten Commandments as the president was given. Yes, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was given, but when he reached Mount Sinai, he could not reach the promised land. The promised land was Canaan. So now God told Moses that you have seen the Canaan, the promised land, but you are not going to enter in the promised land. You are going to remain here. But God gave him an order to give it to Joshua. So now, the Joshua we are waiting. Is it DP Ruto? Is it DP Ruto who is going to form the Big Four? Is it Prime Minister who is going to form the Big Four agenda? Is it the Gideon Moi who is going to form those? Or what are we going to do in that? So now the constitution, the BBI itself has tried to change some of the things, has tried to change some of the things that are going to put on the table of the Kenyans. Now the problem that we are talking about, chapter 7, inclusivity, about being included as the citizen of Kenya, to be included in that BBI. Now the problem will come there, because now if we are going to not to capture those things, they are coming to bring us to a low living. If we accept, the president has given us direction in the first front page of the Standard. In the first, he has said that our future is bright. How our future is going to be bright, and he has seen also the future. How the president has seen the future. If the BBI that they are coming to bring the changes of the 2010 constitution in it. The changes must be very important. The changes must be included the rights of the people, the common people that are living outside there, common mwananchi who wants the president to give them that right future.
Okay, let's wait for Moses and Joshua.
Yes, we are waiting for Moses and Joshua. We want to see.
Another story is about President's route for nationalizing of KQ City's insurance of 5.5 million land title deeds as some of the measures taken to grow economic. Small traders get 2-year tax break in bid of boost economy. So to me, my question for you is about when you see these small traders and you know our country Kenyans, they have corruption. Do you think they could not pay tax for 2 years?
Even me, I can accept I will not pay tax for 2 years because we have been living in a society whereby we are not knowing where to go. Now the indications that are in COVID-19, they are tough now. The indications are tough. The people from the local economics have created fear in them. Why are they fear? Because now the government is now giving them restrictions and you cannot enter the lockdowns in the cities. So you find out that it's very difficult for these normal economic people and those people who are lowly production to the country coming up with good products, because now you find out that like sugarcane farmers in Western County, in Trans Nzoia, in those regions that are giving sugarcane. Yes, they are trying all the best. They are planting the sugarcane. They are trying all the best. They are giving it for the industry in Mumias, in Butali Sugar, in Nzoia, all those. But now in Muhoroni, the problem is what the time they are going to receive the money. Now there's bridges, the money that money should pass. Now the problem comes there. If I am the president of Kenya, and I need to reach those people who are if we can find them that they are low production, but those sugar canes are helping in production of sugar in our country, isn't it? But the problem, this money Emma has to pass through channels. The money from the National Bank, Central Bank, goes directly to the county. There is a panga there. It cuts the money. The money from the county government has to go directly to the company of Nzoia Sugar, another panga. The money from Nzoia Sugar has to go to the director, to the accounts of those who are going to pay the people from the sugar cane. Another corruption. So you find out that channel, before the money reaches, if it was those people are receiving 1 ton, 20,000, but at the end this person is coming to receive only 5,000. Why? Because of the corruption. This money, if the money will come from national government, from the central bank, that this money are going to gather for the people, for the economy of the people, let the money go directly to the people who are the producers. Isn't it? If that one will be the best channel of our country. But this money going through channels, that has brought a lot of corruption. And you can find out when you go in Muhoroni, when you go in Nzoia Sugar, you find out many farmers are crying. They have nothing to boost off. A person have supplied a lot of tons in the company, but coming up home with 10,000 only. That's very shameful. And I know it because I am also a farmer of sugar cane.
Okay. For more story about Africa, most unlikely Democrat is dead. Uhuru pushes for consensus about big 4 agendas, economic and education. You can find on Daily Nation newspaper. That marks the end of our news review, DBN. My name is Immaculate Nyambeki.
And my name is Simeon Nixon, a political analyst. Thank you for watching a news review.
Thank-
Till tomorrow.
Thank you for watching DBN. Continue watching DBN programs.
Thank you.
Confident
that when you call, there will be a solution for you.
Yes.
Now,